Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Call of Cthulhu. Ja, wir müssen immer noch aus dieser Irrenanstalt entkommen.
The door is blocked on the other side.
Ja, wir haben das letzte Mal hier den Schalter noch eingemacht. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob wir den brauchen. Wir wollten ja eigentlich mit dem Gas das vielleicht machen. Alternativ können wir uns immer noch Sleeping Pills suchen. Aber ich habe noch keine gefunden. Ich würde gerne da hinten in den Raum reingehen. In den hier. In die Pharmacy. Da ist aber immer eine Wache und da drüben ist auch eine. Ja, kann sein, dass wir neu laden müssen. Wir müssen hier gleich raus. Weil er dreht nämlich völlig durch. Ich habe schon das letzte Mal versucht, ihn anzugreifen. Das hat aber nicht funktioniert. Hier soll es irgendwas zu finden geben.
With these chains on your wrist, you can't escape.
Ich habe aber noch nichts gefunden. Ja, der hat mich jetzt wieder gesehen.
I'll go take a look.
Schläft er? Hey. Ah, wir haben das Wheel gefunden.
Who's there?
I'll go take a look. This way.
Ja.
Hey!
You there? Come on, show your speed there. You there? Hey!
Hey.
This way.
Können wir uns da hinten verstecken? Huh. So. Können wir hier schon mal das Rad anbringen? Ah, da oben in den Leitungen sieht man dieses hässliche Gas. So. Weiß jetzt nicht, ob er gespeichert hat. Ich wäre halt so gern da hinten mal in die Pharmacy rein. Ja. Okay, es hilft nichts. Wir müssen halt hier mit den Hebel ein bisschen rumspielen. Ich weiß natürlich nicht, ob das für die Insassen jetzt irgendwie total unangenehm wird. Alle offen.
I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Okay, schnell raus hier. Okay, Diversion haben wir. Dann können wir schauen, dass wir abhauen.
Doctor, is that you?
Oh, der arme Francis.
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
Tja, Medicine bin ich zu schlecht.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from my cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not want to see it anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation. These things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation. But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, It's no longer possible to save me.
Okay.
What the hell? Oh God. I got it. Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
Okay. Das war jetzt a little disturbing. Die Dinger sind weg. Nice. Ist da noch irgendwas zu finden? Hätten wir vielleicht doch lieber Medizin steigern sollen, ganz am Anfang. Ja. So, jetzt sind wir hier.
Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Okay. Chapter 6. Hawkins Mansion. Pierce woke up in an asylum, installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. He met Dr. Colden, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him to escape. Wandering through the corridors of this place where Dr. Fuller reigns supreme, Pierce was able to talk to a man called Francis Sanders. Before dying in full view of the detective, he accused Sarah Hawkins of being the cause of his torment. Pierce finally left the accursed building, accompanied by Bradley and Colden. The companions in this misfortune decide to use the Hawkins mansion as a hideout. Doch sehr verwirrend, muss ich sagen. Sieht gar nicht gesund aus.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
A drink? Ja. Ah, jetzt ist das Ganze bei Tag. Also, beziehungsweise es war ja das letzte Mal auch Tag, aber nicht so hell.
That is precisely why I'll find evidence.
Fine. Do what you want. I'm just trying to reason with you.
Schauen wir doch erstmal in unser Journal. Pierce. Wir haben 4 Punkte. Wir brauchen 6, um alles irgendwie zu steigern. Das kann man gar nicht steigern. Machen wir uns mal ein bisschen eloquenter. Shaken. Oh, ist schon ein bisschen runtergegangen hier. Was haben wir denn hier? Ah, wir haben hier vermutlich irgendwas gar nicht gesehen. The Death of Francis Sanders. The weirdness of Francis Sanders' death went far beyond anything Pierce had ever seen. Lifted off his feet by an invisible force, the woman's body was carried into the air before being thrown violently against the bars of his hiding place. Pierce, powerless, watched limbs break and Sanders' body crumble to the ground. During long moments of agony, the detective saw nothing that could explain this event. Weakened by his wound and the operations he could remember undergoing, Pierce begins to question his ability to tell the difference between reality and the nightmares that haunt him. Darkwater. Charles Hawkins, 41, ship owner. Charles Hawkins is alive? Despite its crude and deformed appearance, this thing looked like Hawkins. He attacked broadly after he recognized him. What could have happened to Charles on the night of the fire? I've never seen a major burns victim in such a state. Something's not right. Marie Colden, 32, doctor. Officer Bradley's female friend works as a general practitioner at the Riverside Institute. She had figured out long before I arrived that Fuller was involved in illegal activities. She wants to shed full light on the nature of his experiments and believes that helping me to solve the Hawkins case would advance her own investigations. Francis Sanders, 47, art dealer, deceased. Francis Sanders knew Zora Hawkins so well that he accused her of being the source of his suffering. The man gouged his eyes out with his own hands and smeared the walls of his cell with esoteric symbols. He seemed to be obsessed with the Shambler linked to Sarah Hawkins. He died before my eyes in circumstances that I cannot explain. Cellars of the Riverside Institute. Strictly speaking, I didn't spend much time in the hospital. When I woke up, I was immediately transferred into the cellars of the Institute, a sort of clandestine asylum where Dr. Foley carried out his experiments on patients without being troubled. Unknown machines sit beside anatomical drawings that are disturbing to say the least. I just managed to escape from this place. I might not have as much luck another time. Sleeping cultist. They are laid out on a frozen stone. One would say that they are dead, but their bodies do not decompose. Are they in some form of coma? One thing is sure. These men were subjected to a type of treatment that changed their physical characteristics. I'm not sure that we can still call them men. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. So, was haben wir da? In a padded cell. In the cellars of the Riverside Institute, in one of the cells of the asylum, the same symbol, written in black chalk and repeated over and over again on the padded walls, does make one think. It represents a 5-pointed star with in its center line what would be a twig, a branch, or a feather. A few cryptic phrases accompany the drawings, but they do not seem to have a logical meaning. There is mention of a portal and a painting. Finally, the patient's file, which fell when the guards tried to take him out, revealed that he received a visit from Sarah Hawkins. Das sind die Medical Sachen. Da ist unsere Lampe. Okay, dann gehen wir doch mal runter zu den anderen. Jetzt fragen wir erstmal, what the heck?
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Okay, muss ich jetzt hier außen rumlaufen?
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but That'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Okay. Dann sagen wir doch erstmal mit dem Kult.
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about? Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over the caves under the mansion. They were performing some kind of ritual. One of the entryways was under Charles Hawkins' office.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins of being involved.
My patients believe the old islanders used to worship primitive sea gods. Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing this right?
So you think me gullible?
No, not at all.
What else did you uncover, Mr. Pierce?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Die Truth? Oh, let's stay prudent. Ja, wir wissen die Wahrheit nicht. Vielleicht bin ja auch ich durchgedreht und habe ihn erschlagen.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Okay, das wird also mein Schicksal bestimmen. Diese kleine Entscheidung. Na super.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Ja. Habe ich mir jetzt gerade eben das gute Ende verbaut? Weil ich beschlossen habe, nichts zu sagen, bevor ich nicht weiß, um was es eigentlich geht. Wer kann das schon sagen? Chapter 6 Sanders Residence. Pierce, Colden and Bradley decided to team up to solve the Sarah Hawkins case. They have a new trail to follow. Francis Sanders, an art collector and friend of the painter who died right in front of Pierce. The detective goes to his house in order to speak to his widow about the shambler that the unfortunate man mentioned before he died.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may.
Ja klar. Das klingt nach einer überzeugenden Story, da lasse ich auch jeden rein.
Please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
Ja, fühlen Sie sich wie zu
This way,
Hause.
Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Ihr habt auch seltsame Bilder da hängen.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Tja, was sagen wir denn? Ich glaube, wir sagen mal lieber, sie soll sich nicht schuldig fühlen.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words.
Das will affect
Nobody
my
in that
destiny? Na
hospital would
super.
have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Ein Eloquenztest? Der ist sicher härter. Ich weiß nicht, bin ich schon eloquent genug? Versuchen wir es mal.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
Okay, sie
I
glaubt mir wohl
suppose
nicht.
Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you.
Naja, nicht
I'm
unbedingt.
tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you are so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Dabei sollen wir ja nicht gucken. Tja. Ob das eine gute Antwort war oder nicht, werden wir es nicht mehr rausfinden. Heute sowieso nicht. Ich würde sagen, machen wir an dieser Stelle doch lieber ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.